Hello everyone, Fanta here. You're watching Fantavision, and today I am discussing the newest Joe Rogan controversy. It's so funny. I love how often he's in the news, being taken out of context, being called all these different things just because he has certain people in his podcast. And so what exactly happened? Let's take a look at the clip that's in question, and then we'll dive into what he means and the context behind all. A lot of people are getting upset about this because he is calling video games a waste of time. But aren't they? I understand the message of what he's saying, and he's coming from a place of addiction. I mean, he has an addictive personality. I don't know if you watch the Joe Rogan podcast at all or listen to it or anything like that, but I used to listen to it back when I had a 2-hour commute every day before the plague hit. He would talk about how he loves video games and how he booted up the original Quake again, and it was a problem. He was just up until like some ungodly hour, and that's all he did. He was getting into this cycle of addiction. He's talked about how during his challenge, the Sober October, I mean, he got so into it, he stopped seeing his wife and kids as much. He stopped doing anything besides the podcast and working out to beat his friends at this competition. He is an incredibly competitive and addictive guy. I mean, he smokes weed all the time. I'm sure there's some dependencies there. That's why they get the whole Sober October thing. The thing is, that's what he's talking about. I feel like he's talking about video games as an addiction is an issue. I love all these different takes from people that are saying, oh, so TV isn't a waste of time. I guess I'll just do that. Isn't your podcast, listening to that, isn't that a waste of time? Yes. Yes, it is. But the thing is, if you are enjoying your time, I think that's all right. If you're enjoying the time that you're spending on something, that's all right. But if you only focus all of your time into video games or watching the Joe Rogan podcast or watching TV, and you don't do anything else outside of that, you're not growing as a person, you're not developing skills, you're going to be in the same exact place you were from before. That's just a fact. He's just saying facts here. And yet he's now trending on Twitter and everyone's blowing up on him. Remember, this guy does podcasts so often, and a lot of people are saying that him doing the podcast is a waste of time, which I completely disagree with, because it is a hobby. It's something he's enjoying. It's something that has grown and has made that his job. I mean, his job is now the podcast, and it's something he enjoys. If this became my job, I don't think it would be a waste of time. I think it would be great. Hell, even now, well, it's not my job. It's just a side thing that I enjoy doing. It's something I enjoy doing. It is growing, and I don't think it's a waste of time. So there are definitely things out there that are wastes of time, and that's fine in moderation, just like everything, you know? I don't understand the real controversy behind this besides people really wanting to make clickbait articles. People feed off of Joe Rogan constantly. I've seen so many articles that are recommended by Google and YouTube channels about people flipping out about one thing he said or another, and it's all about context. And in this context, he has a video game addiction. He is basically saying, if you follow this addiction and all you do is play video games, guess what's going to happen? Nothing. You are going to accomplish nothing in life. You're going to be wasting your time just on that one thing, and you're not going to grow as a person. If you're where you are in life and you're fine with where you are and you don't mind stagnating and just playing video games and making that your entire life, I mean, that's fine. That's not what he's saying. I'm saying that's fine, but he is more of a person that wants to grow and develop himself. And so because of that, he assumes that everybody wants to and should do the same thing. Everybody should want a monumental amount of success. Everybody should want to grow as a person, learn new skills, do new things, experience things in real life and not just video games. I'm saying whatever walk of life, I mean, that's the meaning of life. The meaning of life to me is just be as happy as you can be and enjoy as much as you can while you're here, because life is short, it's fleeting. Do what makes you happy. If video games and that's it makes you happy, yes, you are wasting your time, but at the same time, it's also not a waste. But if you look at it from a growth perspective, it is a waste of time. It is something that is not going to push you forward. Yeah, there's also the people that are saying, "Oh, I do esports. I do X. It's like, okay, yes. Yes, there are esports, there are other things, but that's not what he's talking about. He's not talking about people that are professionally training to get better. Esports and playing video games are completely different things in my book. Esports, it goes from something that is really fun and just something to pass the time and enjoy to something you have a team with, you have a schedule, it is your work now. It has become work. It has become like his podcast. It has become something that is growing your skill. You are developing, you are growing, you're doing all these different things to push yourself forward. That's basically what he did with the podcast. He took something that would normally be quote unquote a waste of time to people and grew it into something that people have to respect. People have to respect the fact that he has one of, if not the biggest podcast in the world. You have to respect it. If you don't like the guy, that's fine, but you have to respect the fact that he got there. And that's how he views life. That's how he wants other people to grow and succeed, kind of like what he did. And that's what he's said in lots of other podcasts. That's what he's talked about. He wants other people to do well. He constantly talks with his other comedian friends and even the people he just has on there that he barely knows, and he tries to help them out. He's helped other people start podcasts. He's helped other people with their comedy careers. He's helped a ton of different people. And that just seems like what he wants to do. And of course, it's getting misquoted, and people are taking this one clip, and that's it. If you isolate a clip of almost anything, you can spin it to make it sound awful. That's what happens all the time. That's what happens all the time. Context is everything. And looking to get outraged just seems to be the thing to do nowadays. So before you get outraged, do a little homework on the thing that people are blowing up about, especially on Twitter, because Twitter is just like, it's just an outrage engine. That's what it is. A lot of people call Twitter the worst place on the internet. I disagree. I like Twitter a lot, but I can see where they're coming from whenever you look at the trending tab. So there you go. That is my take on the whole situation. My roommate said not to make this video, but whatever. I just want to talk about it real quick because it seems like a lot of people are taking it out of context. So, video games, fine, in moderation, just as everything else. I feel like that's the basic message of what he said, and I agree with it. We'll see how many people dislike this video because I said you should moderate the amount of time you play games. I don't... Let me know what you guys think down below. You could completely disagree with me. That's fine. Like the video if you guys liked it. Subscribe for more content. And as always, have a fantastic day. I mean, look at me. If you think I'm biased against video games, I've got a Pokemon Blue poster back there. I'm sitting in a gaming chair. I have a huge collection you can see in all of my other video, like a bunch of other videos that I have. I love video games, but I don't know. It makes sense that you should, divide your time by priorities, and video games shouldn't be your main priority in life for most people. Unless, of course, that's your job. Then it makes sense.